Hey, you guys, I know I've been quiet. I've been really busy and busy with orders, and I haven't had a chance to do any readings or twin flame talks just yet. I do have some stuff I want to record this week, some more twin flame talks that I just haven't had a chance to yet, and I'm sure I'll do a collective reading this week also. I try to do them more often than I have the last week. I've just been busy, and the eclipse energy, have been like super tired some days. Like yesterday, did you guys feel that? Like just exhausted. Anyway, so I'm just popping on here real quick because Spirit is surprising me this week and tonight, and it's exciting me at the same time as surprising me, and I just want to share it with you guys. And it's kind of funny because I'm not really prepared for this because I have not added this stuff to my shop yet. Like Spirit is basically giving me information about new readings and new healings that they want me to add to my shop. And I'm excited about it, and I know you guys are going to be excited about it too. I don't even have them on my shop yet, and I know that it's going to take me like a week or two to get them in my shop as well, because I don't have time to do it yet. I need to focus on my orders first. So it's a little premature me telling you guys, but I'm just so excited with what Spirit's doing. Like I can't wait to tell you the story of what came through tonight, what came through the other night and tonight about one of these readings, because it totally caught me off guard. I was like, some of it had already come to me anyway, and I was asking some questions about it. But then I basically asked, put it up in Spirit's hands, and I asked, is there anything else you want me to add? And I was told this random thing, and I'm like, what? You want me to add what? Like, why? And I talked to Spirit more about that tonight, and I got the whys, and I was like, okay. And it's so like out of left field, but also kind of fun, and I can't wait to see like how you guys receive it. I'm sure Spirit is gonna guide certain people to order it, but yeah, I'm excited about it. I just ordered some decks for it just now. I already have some, and I ordered some more. So I want to tell you guys what Spirit has me adding. And yeah, so I'm going to run out of time. This is going to go into a second video. They took away the 10-minute videos, so I'm going to take longer. But first, I'm going to be adding, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4 more healings, kind of 5. I still have to flesh one of these out. And then another 3 readings. They're all kind of going to go in conjunction with what I already have, but it's going to be a little bit more specific to certain issues. So Spirit is going to have me add, and actually, you know what, I meant to say this. Even though I don't have these in my shop yet, I've already had 2 orders for one of them, one of the healings, that Spirit guided me working with the clients. They're like already established clients. Working with them individually, Spirit already told me they need this, which I know I'm going to be adding. So we just handled it privately. I either told them what to order in my shop, or they sent me the funds directly. So if anybody, like if you watch this and you're like, I want that, just reach out to me, and we can arrange something privately for now until I get them in my shop. So anyway, so I'm adding a womb healing, which is interesting because at first I thought that it was going to be focused solely on healing the divine feminine's womb and preparing for sacred sexual union, and for preparing for pregnancies for the crystal children that many twin flames are going to be having. But it turns out that it's not just going to be about that. That's going to be one purpose of it. That will not be the purpose every single time. It depends on each person and what they need. And that can also be at different stages of your journey as well. Keep that in mind. Like you might need a womb healing at one point in your journey for one reason, and then later on, you might need it for exactly what I just said, preparing for sacred sexual union, preparing for being able to, oh my gosh, conceive and grow the crystal children, because you have to have higher crystalline energy anchored in your womb to carry those children. So that's why. So it depends on what you need at the time. But the other purpose of the womb healing is going to be for healing the sacral and solar plexus chakras, reconnecting you with your true self, with your higher self, and activating dormant spiritual DNA in doing so, which that's the first time the spirit has told me that I'm going to be doing something like that. So that's cool. I mean, it might already be happening in my other healings and I don't even realize it. I need to clarify that with spirit. But that was specifically noted in this case. It'll also be, if it's on the pregnancy side, also be connecting you with your spirit babies, healing ancestral wounds and mother-father wounds, and helping you as it's reconnecting you with yourself, with your true self. It will also be helping you remember your abilities from past versions of yourself and from your higher self as well. So the womb healing is actually like really awesome. I'm really excited to start doing that one. Then I'm also going to be adding a heart healing. So the womb healing is going to be focused on the sacral and solar plexus, and the heart healing is going to be focused on the heart chakra. And the heart healing will be healing the attachment disorder wounds, the codependency issues, any trauma that has caused you to put walls up around your heart. It's going to connect you with your higher etheric heart space, connect you with your twins' higher etheric heart space, and restore, bring you back to oneness and unity consciousness. It's also going to be activating dormant spiritual DNA and activating Kundalini. So those two were the ones that I started to learn more about in the last few days that Spirit started telling me about. Part of the reason for adding these is to differentiate from, like in my shop now, I have the inner child healing and I have soul retrieval, but nothing more specific than that. And I think Spirit wants me to add these to make it more specific and to differentiate between the different things. Like an inner child will be more focused on those actual like inner child from childhood, stuff like that. And whereas the womb healing, heart healing, each have their own different purposes. So yeah, so it kind of brings out more variety of the different needs that you have to heal. I'm also going to be separating it out basically more, like I have the black magic removal and cord cutting, which is also negative energy cleansing from like toxic karmic partners, but I'm also going to be differentiating a few more healings in that respect as well. I'm going to be adding a narcissistic abuse healing, which will be like emotional and psychological abuse trauma healing. I'm going to be adding domestic abuse trauma healing, which is going to be focused more on physical abuse, or there can be sexual abuse in there too, but the sexual abuse kind of also goes along with the womb healing one. So I'm going to have to ask Spirit where where the sexual abuse trauma will go, or that could also just be specific to each person. And I'm going to wait to explain the last healing. So we have womb healing, heart healing, the narcissistic abuse healing, and the domestic abuse healing. And between those two, we'll cover the emotional, psychological, and then the physical and sexuals in there. And then that will be in addition to what I have in my shop right now, which is the negative energy, cord cutting, inner child, past life, soul retrieval, karmic situation healing, and twin flame healing. Keep in mind that the twin flame healing that I have in my shop, that's really more so about being for both of you. Like the other ones are individual. And then if you want to get it for you and your twin, you get the twin flame healing one. The twin flame healing one does not have a specific purpose every single, like it does have a specific purpose, but that can be different each time basically. So if you order the twin flame healing, what you get is going to be dependent on what it is that you and your twin need at that moment in time. Now, that might be the heart healing. It might be the womb healing. It might be something else. It might be something very specific to the two of you. But so the difference is basically that the twin flame healing is what you would order if you want to get one of the healings for both of you. And the other ones separated out by their individual names is just like for one person, for one individual. Okay. The karmic situation healing is also for two people, but it's for the karmic partner and your twin flame, and healing that whatever that situation is so that the karmic partner or individual can move on and leave the karmic situation in the past. Okay, so that I believe covers the healings that I'm going to be adding. I'm also going to be adding, I wasn't going to say it, but I'll say it, holistic lifestyle coaching, because even though like I don't get a lot of, that's not my specialty. Excuse me, that's not my specialty on my page, but I do that also, and I have for a long time, since long before I ever started doing this. And I realized, and Spirit told me to go ahead and add it, so that way, like, if anyone ever wants that, it's an option for you. I already have like a consultation on my shop for like how to do things like balance your chakras and balance your energy, heal yourself, stuff like that. The holistic lifestyle coaching will go more into like, the consultation I already have is more the spiritual. The holistic lifestyle coaching I'm adding is going to be more of the physical, like what you eat, what products you use, lifestyle choices, just like all of that stuff to help you live in a healthy way and kind of live on an ascension path type thing. Although I'm not one of those that's going to be all crazy, like you have to be doing this, blah, blah, blah. There's some opinions about that, but I have seen Spirit guide people down this holistic lifestyle naturally anyway. And I've realized that it's in conjunction with ascension. So that is why I feel that I'm being guided to add that also, because they kind of go hand in hand, even though you don't necessarily realize it. Make sense? Okay, so now for the readings that I'm adding. I already have a soul path reading, a shadow work reading, and the past life history and soul contract reading, which I just added recently. But particularly what I'm getting at here, the soul path one, that's about your life purpose, your soul, your spiritual life purpose. There's actually a different life purpose reading that I have that is a little more focused on work, career, and like your creative life purpose. The soul path reading is a broader expansion of that, of what's meant for you. But so I'm going to add a Lightworker Mission Reading. So that's that's definitely more focused on your spiritual soul path, your spiritual life purpose, I should say. Any guidance or activations or anything like that Spirit is bringing you through or wants you to go through or preparing you for your like mission work. Okay, so I'm going to add that one as separate from the soul path so that it's more in depth in that specific area, because the soul path one can go in different directions depending on the person. So that one's a little bit more specific. By the way, Spirit told me tonight, which I didn't realize this, that all of my readings have downloads and activations coming through when you listen to them. I did not realize that. I mean, it's not a surprise to me because many times, whether it's the collective healings or clients or whatever, people tell me that they start to feel really like drowsy and tired and they start to fall asleep. And, are obviously not trying to fall asleep, but they can't even help it. Like they're listening to my readings and they can't even help that they start to fall asleep, and they have to, sometimes it takes them a little while of continually retrying. Someone had a really funny story about that. She kept falling asleep when she was trying to do the guided meditation that came with the, I think it was the 3-3 collective healing. And she said, since she kept falling asleep, she finally did it without closing her eyes so that she wouldn't fall asleep and she'd be able to hear it all. And your higher self still does the meditations with the collective healings, even if you fall asleep. Although that was the only one that was a guided meditation, but I have a feeling more are coming soon. But obviously if you stay awake, you can consciously remember it. So she had to do it. She had to keep her eyes open to do it and, be able to see the visions in her third eye, even though she wasn't closing her eyes and meditating like she normally would. So I thought that was funny. But anyway, the reason why people are getting drowsy and falling asleep is because of the activations and the downloads that they're receiving just from listening to one of my readings, which I think is really cool, but also explains a lot. So if that happens to you, that's why you're receiving activations and downloads. Okay, so anyway, I'm adding the Lightworker Mission Reading to go along with what I already have, the Soul Path, Shadow Work, Life Purpose, and the Past Life History and Soul Contract Reading. And then I'm also going to be adding, it's funny, like I quickly made this decision a couple weeks ago, and I have no idea why I didn't sooner. I'm adding spirit baby readings. They're very popular. I don't know why it never even occurred to me to do that sooner, but for whatever reason, Spirit brought it to my attention now. And I asked Spirit, like, do you want me to add spirit baby readings? And I got an immediate strong yes. So I'm adding spirit baby readings. They're not coming just yet because I have to receive the decks. I ordered 2 decks to do it, although it's primarily going to be a spirit chat anyway, because you're going to get the most information from me talking to your spirit babies rather than card decks. But I wanted to have the oracle cards to go along with it. So I'm adding spirit baby readings that are going to have both the spirit baby oracles, I'm getting 2 of them, and a spirit chat with your spirit babies, which I have already spoken to spirit children before, so I know that I can. And probably in the not too distant future, I will add a combined healing, a combined reading and healing for spirit babies. So it'll be a spirit baby reading combined with a spirit baby healing to heal you of any trauma from abortions or miscarriages, or anything similar, any sexual trauma of any kind. Rape, I don't know if should rape go with that, or rape should probably be separate with like the womb healing and the abuse healings. But anyway, so I'm going to add that combined healing too. And so I'm excited about that, but I'm not getting, one of those decks isn't coming until sometime in May, and the second deck isn't coming until sometime in June. So those aren't going to be quite as soon. I can probably start doing some in May, but I won't be able to do them completely until June, just so you know. Then this last reading that I have to tell you about is the one that Spirit surprised me with that I had to tell you guys about because I think it's so fascinating. So I had written down that whole list of everything that Spirit wants me to add, and I was like, is there anything else? A fairy and elemental reading. And I'm like, okay, like what's the purpose of it? Like, why am I adding a fairy and elemental reading? Like, is it going to give certain messages? Like what's the deal with it? Basically is what I was asking. So I wrote it down the other night, but then tonight I like sat down and asked Spirit, okay, please explain to me what it is you want me to do here, why you want me to add this fairy and elemental reading. And I immediately realized that I was not taught, like, you guys know, hopefully, I usually talk to Jesus. I just go straight to him. I don't even take the time to go through anyone else anymore. But I could tell from the energy with the pendulum that I was not talking to him, because I can tell the difference. When I'm talking to different spirits, I can tell the difference with the pendulum. They each move it differently. I'm very accustomed to Jesus's energy and what it's like. Other spirits, whether it's certain angels or other ascended masters, like they tend to move it differently. Like when I talk to Archangel Zadkiel, he tends to go in ovals instead of straight lines. It drives me a little bit crazy with that. I'm like, Zadkiel, can you please make it a straight line so I'm clear on what you're saying? So anyway, I could tell that it wasn't Jesus because it was very excited energy and it was zipping and zapping all over the place. And I'm like, I'm talking to someone who's excited. And I was like, am I talking to fairies right now? And I got a confirmation that I was talking to fairies. And I had also confirmed, like, part of the reason why I am adding this fairy and elemental reading is because the fairies want to talk to you guys. Like I did, I found out recently that Merlin is one of my spirit guides as well. And I did an activation to connect with him more easily. And when I did the activation, it also connected me more with the nature spirits and the elementals, which I know I already had them around me anyway. I've actually seen my pets interact with them. But this like started opening it up more. And I think that now that I'm opening it up more, they want to talk. Like they want to have a voice also, which just sounds crazy to me even saying this. I actually got a crystal ball a couple months ago and I meditated with it to connect with it. And it was so interesting to me too that when I meditated with it, I saw a fairy. Like my crystal ball had a fairy come with it, like she's attached, connected to it. Maybe she's a crystal fairy. I don't know exactly how it works because I don't know that much about the elementals. I know some, but not everything. So I thought it was really cool that I recognized that there was a crystal fairy with my crystal ball. So, and she's the one who I was talking to tonight, getting the information about this reading. So here's what she had to say about it. Okay. So like I said, the fairies and the elementals, they want to talk. Now, I'm not going to, the title is just going to be Fairy and Elemental Ancient Wisdom for Your Soul Journey. But this is fairies, elves, dragons, animal spirit guides, unicorns, mermaids, and any other elementals that exist, that the positive ones, the good ones of the light. There's more that I don't even know of. I can't even think of all of them. I ordered a special fairy deck tonight, and I realized that I actually already have one too, but I ordered a more in-depth fairy one, and I believe that elves are included in it as well, or a similar type. I already have a dragon deck. I already have a spirit animal deck. I might in the future get a unicorn deck or a mermaid deck, but yeah, and I'll probably use my crystal deck also. And I have my Celtic deck, and my Celtic deck is connected to the nature spirits, particularly with, I don't know how you say that, the Celtic region. I also found another deck that I ordered as well tonight called this isn't the exact name, but it's a Chinese Astrology Oracle. And it's a very specialized deck that looks at your yin and your yang energy for the Chinese astrology signs, or I don't know if I'm saying that right. And I have to go back and look at exactly what it says. But it has a card for each sign, each animal that isn't part of the Chinese astrology, and a yin energy for it and a yang energy for it. And it's looking at your balance between your yin and your yang through the Chinese astrology. So I'm going to include that in this reading too. But anyway, so like I was saying, the fairies and the elementals are super excited to communicate with you guys. Like that came through so strong tonight. And with how that pendulum was zipping and zagging all around, telling me about this reading, I'm going to be connecting with your elemental spirit guides. Some of them are only for present with you this lifetime, but some of them are from your past lives too. Some of them have been with you in previous lifetimes, both when you were human and they were your spirit guides then, and some of them you were an elemental yourself in past lives with them. So like you were like friends, you were little elemental friends that they're going to be coming through. And she specifically told me that this is going to be opening you to spiritual harmony, living and interacting with the elemental nature spirits, receiving guidance from your elemental spirit team. Connect with your elemental soul family and receive downloads and activations from the nature spirits. So that is what that reading is going to be about, and they are so excited to talk to you guys. So I didn't realize how long it was going to take me to tell you guys all that, but I don't care. So I'm excited. I can't wait to get these 2 new decks and start playing with them and seeing what they want to say. I think it's funny, especially for this fairy and elemental ancient wisdom for your soul journey reading. I think it's funny because, I mean, it's not something that we need, like we need our twin flame readings to be able to get through this journey. And we need sometimes these soul path readings and whatnot to help us, find our way. We don't need a fairy reading. But I have a feeling that the information that comes through is going to be really fascinating and fun. I'm really excited to learn how to use the Chinese astrology oracle. So, and actually, I know I mentioned that I'll possibly get unicorn and mermaids later. I don't really need to get those decks, but I figure if it's going to be elementals, then let's like try to account for everyone. But I am going to get in June, because I can't, how many decks am I going to order at once? You know, I just ordered the Spirit Babies decks like a week or two ago. Now I'm getting these two. So in June, and I think part of the reason for June is that one of these decks is not being released until June. But I found, when I was looking these up, I found a Healing Waters deck and also a Rose Oracle, and just those just really speak to me. I can't even explain. Well, the Healing Water speaks to me because of my connection with water. And the Rose one speaks to me because of connection to like Mary Magdalene and the Rose lineage. So I'm going to get those as well and probably include them in this Fairy and Elemental Ancient Wisdom reading. So anyway, that's everything. All of the healings and readings that I'm going to be adding here, like more than I even anticipated. That's why it's going to take me a little bit to add them. But if you're interested, just shoot me a message, whether you want to go ahead right now. Like I said, I can take the orders privately until I have a chance to add them to Etsy. And to be honest, I can always take orders privately anyway. It honestly helps me out because Etsy's increased their fees. So, but I also want you guys to be safe and know that you're, talking to me and not a scammer. So that's why I will always have my Etsy shop. But anyway, so if you don't want to wait, just message me. And for the ones like the Spirit Babies that I can't do just yet, if you want to go on like a pre-order list or something like that, you can send me a message and talk to me about that. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope you guys are excited. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what comes through. I forgot something. So I'm giving you a heads up now about my 5/5 portal collective healing. I'm going to be over the weekend asking Jesus exactly what we'll be doing in that healing. And so I will post it. I'll get it up on my shop and post it so that you guys can order and sign up by like Sunday, Monday. It'll be on Friday, so you'll have time. But this is the part of the heads up. It's actually going to be 2. Back in January, I asked Jesus to give me all the dates for the entire year for all the collective healings and all the workshops that he wants me to do. And he gave me May 5th, 5/5, and he also gave me 5/10. And I was like, 5/10? Like, why 5/10? And at the time, I didn't understand. But now I understand, and he confirmed it tonight. It's going to be basically the 5/5, because it's, the 5/5 is on the full moon lunar eclipse. And then, so it's 5/5 energy, and it's the eclipse energy, and it's the full moon energy. And actually it's something else too that you guys don't know. May 5th is Jesus's real birthday. At some point in time, I had already known that Christmas was not his actual birthday. I don't even remember where I learned that a long time ago, but basically someone in powerful positions, or people in powerful positions, decided to assign Christmas to be at that time of the year in order to space things out. But I knew from somewhere that his actual birthday was not that far from Easter. So now that I can talk to him, I asked him not that long ago, when is your actual birthday? May 5th. So the collective healing is going to be special for Jesus's birthday, the 5/5 portal, the lunar eclipse, and the full moon. And then the second part of it is going to be on 5/10, or the second one is going to be on 5/10, and it's going to be to like close out and smooth the energies from all of that and from eclipse season. So he's going to be having me set it up that like you're going to be, when you order, you're going to be ordering for both. Like I'm not going to do 2 separate orders for each of them. You're going to be signing up for both 5/5 and 5/10 at the same time. Okay. And I'm going to get the details on what is actually going to be done in each one this weekend. And I will let you guys know all of that information soon. Okie doke.